Hey, welcome back to the Bound by Art podcast. I'm Missi Blue, tattoo artist, business owner, and your guide to navigating the chaos that is the tattoo industry. If you're an artist looking to grow your business, attract the right clients, and learn how to survive this career without losing your damn mind, then you are in the right place. Every week, I'll be bringing real talk, actionable tips, and hard-earned lessons from my own journey with a side of good vibes and a little bit of sarcasm. Whether you're new to the game, feeling stuck, or you just need a kick in the ass to get that spark back again, this is the show for you. Welcome to Bound by Art. Now let's get to work. Today, I'm kind of calling myself out a little bit. I've spent years taking courses and classes and seminars and reading all the books and not actually doing anything with half of it. Like I'd sit through the same seminar over and over again thinking, this time it'll stick. And I'll still walk away making the same damn mistakes. Sound familiar? In this episode, I'm sharing how I finally got sick of hoarding information and decided to start actually using it. I'll walk you through how I organize my notes now, how I break down what I've learned into actionable steps, and how I hold myself accountable to actually do the work. If you've ever finished a course feeling inspired and then forgot literally everything 2 days later, I got you. Keep listening, and I'm going to tell you how to fix that. I am so guilty of being stuck in what I like to call consume mode, where I'm just needing more and more information when I haven't even used any of the information that I already have. I've taken so many seminars, webinars, and classes and read books, and it's easy to get carried away signing up for these things that you think are going to change your life and change your career, just drastically change everything and fix all of your problems. How many classes have you taken and then never used the information? For example, I took 3 years of Spanish in school and then never spoke Spanish. I took 3 years of it, retained zero information, 0% of what I learned. I can maybe badly ask, where's the bathroom or where's the library? 2 phrases that I'm pretty sure I'm never going to fucking need to know. And anyway, I would probably never attempt to say them out loud. The first tattoo seminars that I ever went to were the Explorer conferences. And I don't know if they're still running, but they had them all over the country. And I went to 6 different Explorer conferences. And I saw a few of the seminars within the conference a couple times. So every conference there was new presenters, but there was a couple people who were repeats, and I was happy to see them again because, again, I saw their seminar, but I still hadn't learned the information. And as a matter of fact, specifically Dan Pemble, I saw his seminar 6 times at Explorer Conference. And then even during COVID, I paid for it another time so I could watch it because I just was not retaining this information. The 7th time, I remember I was at the Fort Wayne conference and he's up there on stage talking and teaching, and it's pretty much the same seminar. Maybe there's a few tweaks to it. And I'm just like, God damn it, I'm still making the same mistakes. I'm still doing these things that he taught me 7 times now not to do. And he's up there saying the same things to me. And I'm like, fuck, why is it taking me this long to do this thing that I said I was going to do? Not one single thing that he taught stuck with me. I knew the information. In fact, I could rattle it off to anyone who would listen to me. And I probably taught some of it to my apprentice, but had I learned it? No. Was I using any of that? No. So I decided on this 7th time that I was not coming to another one of these events without having first implemented this information that I've learned. I was not going to be sitting there watching him on stage going, what am I doing? Why am I still doing that? And I think I even told him this, and he was just like, what? Why would you watch my seminar that many times? I'm like, because I'm fucking stupid and I haven't retained any of it. I'm fucking goldfish, apparently. So a study that was published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that students who engaged in hand-on projects retained 85% of the information compared to 45% retention from traditional lecture-based learning, which tells me that majority of us learn best by doing. So why are we spending all of our time only consuming and not actually putting things into practice? If we're spending the time and the money taking the classes and seminars but never retaining it, we're wasting our time. We're mistakenly checking it off the list as if it's done after we've attended the class, and it's not actually done until we've used what we've learned. So I decided to come up with a plan so that this wasn't going to happen to me anymore. And now every time I take a class or a seminar, I make sure that I actually do this and I use the information that I absorbed to ensure that I actually am learning it. One common mistake or false hope that people have is that we're going to leave knowing all of these secrets and we're going to immediately go home and we're going to be on the next level. And it's going to change everything. It's going to fix all of our problems. But we can't possibly implement all of it at once. Generally, a person can only learn about 3 things at a time, and we can only master 1 thing at a time. Most of these classes and seminars that I've taken have a million different new perspectives, and they're overloaded with information, and there's a dozen tips and tricks, and you immediately want to start doing all the things, and it's watering down your ability to learn and master the thing. Our focus is too spread out. It's too thin. You're thinking about too many things at once, and it's just not possible. If we can't do it all at once, what can we do? I'll get there in a minute, but first, before we get into how to apply the knowledge, let's back up and talk about how are we collecting the information? How are we taking notes for these things? This is how I chose to attack the new knowledge and get organized and get myself ready for the next class so that I was going in there just ready for fucking battle. I created my own note-taking workbook because I'm extra like that, and I needed something that was going to be color-coded and laid out exactly the way my brain needed to see it so that I could come back and easily find the important parts. And if you'd like to check that out and use it for your next class, I did make it available for you on my website. So you can go to boundbyart.com/notes. That's NOTES. And you can take a look at my very detailed and organized note-taking guide. But some of the things in this notebook are just, besides normal note-taking stuff, is there's a section for what blew my mind and what stood out to me most and what did the presenters recommend for like books and podcasts and websites and different artists to check out and things I didn't want to forget and the biggest takeaways from each of the speakers. My overall biggest takeaways from the entire event and what are my top 3 things that I want to work on. Prior to having my note-taking guide, I literally would just have scribbled mess everywhere. It was just like illegible fucking words. I went back to my notes from the very first Explorer conference I went to, and I was like, I can't even read half of this shit. And also, what am I saying? And it's like half points. So if I have to write out like books that this person recommended or whatever, like it's taking up so much time for me from my note taking where I can just start listing stuff in like products and things to try or whatever section. I don't know. It might not work for you, but for me, it just made everything so much easier and organized for myself so that it was just easier in general to take the notes in the first place, and then actually reading them back later made much more sense. So after the event, I go back and I look at them and I figure out what is most important here? And the first thing that I did was go through the list and figure out which of these things is going to make the biggest impact on my skill, my career, or my life. Like, what was my aha moment, as they say? What is the thing that I was like, fuck, like, that's what I want to start doing. That's what I need to change. What is the thing that I struggle with most, where maybe there was a problem that I needed solved prior to going to the seminar and I found the answer for it within it? And what is the thing that I've been putting off implementing? Maybe something you have to do, but you're stalling or you're procrastinating on it. So I'm acknowledging that I need to actually fucking do this thing. And what's going to give me the biggest, fastest return? What are the things that I need to start or put in place that are going to get me more time or more money or whatever kind of return that I'm looking for? So then after going through this list, I'm going to break that down even further into what can I do this month? What can I do this week? And what can I do right now? And then I'm going to come up with my reminders. So for the Dan Pemble seminar specifically, I came up with my Dan Pemble checklist, and I use this checklist every time I did a drawing because his seminar was on composition. It's fantastic if you can't tell. Like, it's just because I didn't retain the information doesn't mean that it's not good. But it's very good. It's very information packed, and it really did change a lot of things in my career for me. So I have this checklist that I made. So every time I would go through and do my drawing for my tattoo, I'd be like, okay, let me pull out my list. Like, did I do this? Did I do that? Did I do this? And that way I can pinpoint the things that are not, they don't come easy to me. It's things that I have to actively think about. And when I'm in the drawing mode, I'm not going to be actively thinking for these things. So I made a checklist to remind myself. And then I have a little Post-it note where I put my top 3 things that I'm wanting to work on. It's right on my station. So every day when I go to work, I'm looking over okay, I'm working on flow. I'm working on balance. I'm working on, color palettes. So I'm looking at this before I start my tattoo, and I'm remembering, fuck, right, I'm supposed to be working on this. If that wasn't there, I'm probably just going to go into autopilot and not be paying attention, just be nose to the rhinestone, get to work and not really be reaching and pushing myself to challenge myself to do these things. And then I'm putting things on my schedule. For example, I'm reminding myself that I'm going to check back in on my work and I'm going to critique myself, or I'm going to schedule a critique session with my coworkers. So if you're not doing this, if you're not looking back on your tattoos and critiquing them and not just being like, oh, this tattoo fucking sucks, and not actually picking apart your work and seeing, well, what did I do that worked and what did I do that didn't work, and what did I forget to do that I said I was going to do? So if I said that I was going to start doing, more simplified palettes, and then I go back and I look at my tattoos from last week and I did not do that, and I'm like, well, fuck, I didn't like this because I didn't do the thing I said I was going to do, that I learned in the seminar that I'm supposed to be working on. So I'm checking in with myself. And if that means I have to put it on my fucking calendar or set out an alarm or a reminder to do it, that's what I'm going to do so that it gets done. And until all of these things just become muscle memory, I'm going to keep doing them. And once I get them, once they're, that's all coming easy to me, I don't really have to think about it anymore. I'm going to go back to my notes that are super organized, easy to read, and I'm going to pick the next 3 things that I want to work on. And I'm going to make my lists, and I'm going to make my Post-it notes with my top 3 reminder, and I'm going to put things in my calendar that I need to, and so on until I feel like I've learned everything that I wanted to learn from that class or that seminar. And if you can take this information that you've stored in the back of your brain somewhere and you pull it out to the front where you can actually see it, you can actually use it and implement it and really truly learn it and get the most out of these classes that you've been taking, you're going to benefit so much more, and you're not going to be wasting your time just consuming and going on to the next class and the next class and the next class. There's no point in spending all of that time and money going to these types of things if you're not going to continue to do the work afterwards and you're not going to put it into practice. Invest the time into implementing it and mastering it before you go on to learn the next thing. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to make some moves today. Remember, it's all about showing up, putting in the work, and staying true to yourself. If you got something out of today's episode, share it with a friend who might need to hear it, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep this momentum going. Get updates on all of our latest episodes, events, and more by following us on social media at Bound by Art Project and by heading over to the website boundbyart.com. Thanks for hanging out and putting up with my shit. I'll see you next time. Now shut up, quit making excuses, and go get better.